Due to the writers and actors strike this year, the immediate future of Star Wars has been clouded. However, we now have an update in regards to what we can expect in 2024. Which is literally just over a month away now. As always, buckle up, it could be a bumpy ride. Right. Now, this is an article we've got over on inverse.com. Star Wars is finally moving to a new era in 2024. It's time to plot a new course. Now, Star Wars television, once an experiment, has become a franchise within a franchise. After the 2019 launch of Disney Plus and the success of The Mandalorian and the Mandoverse has become the main focus on Disney Plus Star Wars originals. These live-action series have explored the New Republic era with smaller scale stories focused on characters like Din Djarin, Boba Fett, but in 2024, a new slate of series will look to usher Star Wars into its next chapter. Empire magazine has confirmed that Star Wars will release 3 series in 2024. That'll be Andor Season 2, The Acolyte, and Skeleton Crew. 2024 will therefore be the first year since Disney Plus launched without a season of The Mandalorian or a related show like the Book of Boba Fett or Ahsoka. Now, it's worth noting here that the update itself comes from Empire magazine, which I believe we did have a look at in the last stream, but that's important because of the Empire magazine's relationship with Lucasfilm. Have you not noticed how whenever a new project is coming out, Empire magazine are the first ones to release an exclusive, and that really signals the beginning of a marketing campaign for that specific show or movie. So if there is any outlet out there that would know what Lucasfilm's plans are in 2024, you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be Empire magazine. All 3 of these upcoming series take place at vastly different points on the timeline. Andor, the prequel show to prequel movie Rogue One, covers the years leading up to the events of the original trilogy. The Acolyte will shine some light on the last days of the High Republic, about a century before the events of the prequels. Now, when you come to think about it, this year we've essentially followed one story with the events of Ahsoka following on from The Mandalorian Season 3 for the most part. Now, whilst I am looking forward to Andor Season 2 to find out what happened to Kino Loy, all these interesting characters we met in Season 1, how their futures are going to end once we reach Rogue One, and we know about Cassian already, but what about the others? I'm particularly intrigued about the Acolyte. We've never been that far back in the timeline in live action, around 100 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. It's going to be fascinating to see what the galaxy was like back then, what the Jedi were like back then, but also what the Sith or the villains were like at that time as well, and who may appear that we already know about. I mean, we could get Darth Plagueis, we could get Plagueis' master. Who knows, maybe even Yoda's a part of it, a younger Yoda at that point in time. Skeleton Crew is about as close to the norm as 2024 slate goes. John Watts' youth-focused series is set in the same New Republic era as The Mandalorian, and has even been referred to as a Mandoverse show before, but its tone and huge high-profile director roster seems to be separate from what we've already seen. Yeah, Skeleton Crew is a strange one. We know it follows a group of kids, and the lead character in that show is Jude Law, who could be a Jedi, perhaps he's a survivor of Order 66 himself. We know it's set after the events of Return of the Jedi, but other than that, we don't really know that much officially. It could be in the same timeline as The Mandalorian, happening concurrently, or maybe it happens after the events of Ahsoka, and it all ties in. Or it could happen 15 years after The Mandalorian and still be within that New Republic era. Now, I will say there are a ton of rumours online in regards to the Skeleton Crew show, in that it is part of the Mandoverse and it does tie in to the events of Mando Season 3 and the Ahsoka show, and perhaps it even takes place in that new galaxy where we found Peridia in the Ahsoka series as well. But I'll be honest with you, these are rumours, they're not a fact. I probably won't get a better understanding of what the show is actually going to be about until the trailer drops. So it very much could be connected to what we've been watching already, or it could be its own story. In the wake of Ahsoka and The Mandalorian Season 3 being met with mixed reviews, this seems like yet another sign that Lucasfilm is experimenting with new tones and time periods to find a new centerpiece for Star Wars television. With Andor wrapping up after its second season, the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew may have the potential to take the torch from the show that gave Star Wars new life. The Mandoverse is popular among fans, but every franchise needs to innovate to stay exciting. A series inspired by Stranger Things and another show diving deep into the past could offer just that. Now, I'm late coming to the party when it comes to watching Stranger Things, but I did think to myself the other day, how cool would it be if we had a Star Wars show that is kind of like Stranger Things? And if Skeleton Crew turns out to be that show, then that's a massive win in my opinion, and it can bring back some of the mysticism that we've lost over the years. I get that The Mandalorian is their biggest show, but not every story in this time period needs to tie into it. Besides, isn't it a little bit too late in the day now to introduce a bunch of new characters when Dave Filoni's movie is effectively just around the corner. We've got The Mandalorian Season 4 and possibly Ahsoka Season 2, and then it's the movie. Now, in my opinion, just let them have their own story. Now, when you factor in the other projects that look to be released next year, such as The Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi, possibly Visions, we've got Star Wars game coming out as well, and these 3 live action shows, it could possibly be a very busy year for us Star Wars fans. Let me know down in the comments, which project are you most looking forward to? Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you.